Alright, so it's totally possible that this film doesn't have a soundtrack. Um, I'm looking right now. So if you can hear me talking, just say hey.
We start with a square, which is really a head-on view of a cube which begins to rotate. Our first impression of a rotating 3-cube is that of squares sliding. This is the revolving door illusion. If we rotate the three-dimensional cube about a different axis, we get parallelograms and rectangles, images that we readily interpret as the shadows of a rotating three-dimensional cube. But now we rotate in four-dimensional space. Our first view of a rotating four-dimensional cube gives us the impression of three-dimensional cubes sliding, the revolving door illusion in one higher dimension. If we stop the four-dimensional rotation and revolve around an axis in 3 space, we get something which resembles a wireframe model, like the frame of a box kite. But now, we rotate in a different plane in four-dimensional space. This is our first really good view of a four-dimensional cube. It has 16 corners, 8 on the red cube, 8 on the green cube, with corresponding corners connected. But as we rotate in 3 space, we see that one three-dimensional face is still quite flat. We rotate again in four-dimensional space, this time leading to truly general position. At almost any instant, the 4 edges that come out of one of the corners have no 3 lines lying in a plane. Stopping our four-dimensional rotation, we show a three-dimensional spin around an axis where we see the red cube and the green cube interlaced. At the end of our four-dimensional rotation, we fold all the way back, come back to 3 space, continue back to the plane, and end at a square. Viewing objects in three-dimensional space, we are aided by the devices of perspective. As we rotate a 3-cube in perspective, we see each of the 6 bounding squares as the smallest, furthest away square, and then again as the largest, closest square. This is not the top view of some 2-dimensional creature swimming in on itself. It's a rotating 3-dimensional cube, and we are quite used to these perspective distortions. But now we go to 4 space. We change our perspective, and we proceed to walk around that 4-dimensional cube. As we walk around, we see each of the 8 cubical faces as the smallest cube when it's furthest away, or the closest cube when it's largest. This is not a 3-dimensional creature swimming through itself. It is the shadows of a rotating 4-dimensional cube. This is the best rotation, with the red cube now largest, now flattened out, now turned inside out as the smallest furthest away cube. And if we become comfortable with rotations, every once in a while we see a rotation which confuses us once more. Rotating directly toward us and away from us, we find another very strange view of the rotating four-dimensional cube in perspective. At the end, we go back and end at our three-dimensional cube. In addition to projections and rotations, we can use the device of slicing. Slicing a square by an edge parallel to one side gives us a segment for a while. Corner first gives us segments which grow and come back off ending at a corner. We can use the same technique to slice a three-dimensional cube. Parallel to one face, we get a square for a while. Edge first, we give rectangles, which grow and come back off, ending at an edge. Most interesting is corner first. What do we get halfway through? We can see that a bit more slowly. Triangles, which become cut off, so that halfway through, we cut each of the 6 bounding squares in precisely the same way. We obtain a perfect, regular hexagon halfway through the cube. We can use the same techniques to slice a four-dimensional cube. We position our three-dimensional knife parallel to one face to get a cube for a while. Square first, our slices are square prisms that come back off, ending at a square. There are 2 more symmetrical ways of slicing a four-dimensional cube. Edge first gives us triangular prisms. Halfway through, a hexagonal prism, coming all the way back off, ending at an edge. Most interesting, most challenging. What do we get when the slice comes through corner first, along the long diagonal? We can see that more slowly. A small tetrahedral pyramid, which grows until it hits the vertices and becomes truncated, cut off, so that 3/8 of the way through we have 4 equilateral triangles, 4 regular hexagons, 1 hexagon exactly halfway through that red cube. This is a semi-regular polyhedron already known to Archimedes. Halfway through, we cut each of the 8 bounding three-dimensional cubes in precisely the same way. We get 8 equilateral triangles fitting together to form a perfect, regular octahedron, a Platonic solid. We complete our tour of the four-dimensional cube by showing slices which go off at a point not situated at the center of the screen. One last pass. Tetrahedra, tetrahedra cut off, in the middle, the octahedron. Tetrahedra cut off the other way, coming back off, ending at a point, completing our tour of the four-dimensional cube.
Oops. All right. Hey, Skip Alzheimer here, AV Geeks. So I was watching that film and I was like, oh my gosh, I have an amazing film and be a great companion to that. But I ran out of time and the film came off the the telecine. So I'm going to thread this up. Anyways, thanks everybody for joining me for lunch. This will be something I'll be doing all week. Maybe longer, I don't know, we'll see. I know a lot of people are kind of stuck at home, so try to give you a little bit of non-germ disease, pandemic-related stuff. I collect old educational films, and certainly could go down the public health rabbit hole with all the 16 that I have about the diseases, but that's not what today is about and what this series is about. This is really mixing it up, showing some films from my collection of over 27,000 films, including ones that I have not seen. And so Hypercube is one of the ones that I had not seen, and I was excited to show it. Start rewinding it. Oops. Oopsie. Right. So just so you know, this is a telecine. So this is actually a film transfer machine that we're running the films through live. And then that's being digitized to MPEG-4 stream, which is then going over the internet. So thank you guys for joining me. Yeah, so the other film that I wanted to show was called Flatland, which is a great book written turn of the century, maybe a little bit before that, which is about someone who visits someone in the second dimension, and you get to hear about their story. And this particular thing was animated and was narrated or voiced by Dudley Moore. And I was trying to find that film, and I ran out of time. So maybe later this week I'll bring that one out. It's really great. So, what films do we have today? Again, trying to stay away from anything that's health related and try to showcase some of the stuff that we have, including this ludicrous film that I would love to show you, called A Window Is. And this film is narrated by a window, Andersen window, that was newly installed, and tells the story of his life with a family. It is a promotional film, but it's also just absurd in that it's trying to, how it's advertising Andersen windows and as being part of the family. Let's thread this thing up. Okay, so here it is. A Window Is. Enjoy.
A window is to open to let the air in, to smell the lilacs in the spring and feel the wind on your face. A window is to see through, to watch the people you love, and to say things without words. A window is to live with. A window can be very special. A window can be Andersen Permashield.
with a rough lumber, we don't get to handle the finished product, but it's a challenge to know that you're taking what we call nothing and making something out of it.
There's been a lot of automation added since I've been here. There was a lot of handwork done, and machines are so they can do it faster, you know. As the production increases, the sales go up, they have to find ways.
They can talk all they want against automation, but this is a lot easier than the way it was before, I'll tell you. Before we used to do about 60,000 a day. Now we do between 80 and 90,000 board feet, somewhere in there.
Fussy about using good material. We cull a lot of stuff at the machine. Whatever we see, and it's culled all the way through. And we have regular inspectors, though, too, that come around.
We have gauges at our welders. We have another set of templates at our drills. We have gauges all the way along. If we make a mistake in here, it becomes quite costly. We're going to send a serviceman out to repair that window, to put it in operation. Now that costs money.
A window is a combination of materials, and each material has its own special characteristics. Wood is warm. Its surface is beautiful. It insulates. It has thermal stability. It's easy to shape, and it can be treated with preservatives. Wood is a natural material. Rigid vinyl is a man-made material, a material that took years of research and years of field testing to make just right.
We have a complete new technique, new technical processes, and it requires the training of people in a new field. These operators are all chosen out of the crew. It's all on-the-job training.
In the future, more and more of our present workers will be in the vinyl processing. Andersen has not hired any outside people, and has taken the attitude that we retrain our workers. Well, it's always been the practice of the company to do this. And I can think of several 100,000 pounds of vinyl material which was used as a training program.
They take suggestions anytime that you want to give them, and then they evaluate these suggestions, and if they can be used, they adopt them.
When someone turns in a suggestion, it benefits both the company and the workers, because in effect what it's doing is reducing the cost to the company.
If the company saves money, we make more. In salary, pay raises, and profit sharing, benefits.
Rigid vinyl is most stable when it is white. It is its own protective covering, so it doesn't have to be painted. Rigid vinyl is freedom from maintenance. It resists corrosion, denting, and mildew. It is self-extinguishing. It is a shield. Each material has its own special characteristics, and when the best of each, man's material, and nature's material were joined. We called it Andersen Hypercube.
I've been with this window right from the beginning. Outside of the years of preliminary research that went into it, and I've seen it grow, I've seen the changes and the improvements and what they mean.
We just sensed the need for the maintenance-free idea, and of course, luckily, we started working on this years ago. And we finally found the answer by just trial and error, real trial and error, you know, the straight extrusions and then the reinforced extrusions and then finally the marriage of vinyl with wood. And as a result, we debugged the main problem that we had of the stability, you know.
When we went to look for a method of making a maintenance-free window, we found the processing over in Europe. We have used their equipment and their processing techniques and licensed their patents and know-how, but we have not used their compounds.
We have to achieve the final product that will withstand the weathering conditions of all areas of the United States. PVC, polyvinyl chloride, gives us this. By covering our sill with vinyl, we practically eliminate the possibility of a sill rotting out of a window. And the life of a window ordinarily depends upon the life of the sill. Our customers are leaning towards this vinyl window because of its low maintenance. So many owners have found the value and time saving that they've made in not painting the outside of the house. You never have to touch the outside of it. Quite a few of these are going into motels, schools, hospitals, high-rise apartments, anything where the owner wants to keep the maintenance down.
The PermaShield idea, wood covered with rigid vinyl, is used for many products. Some are alike except in size and shape, while others, still concentrating on low maintenance, are covered differently. Partly polyurea, a 4-step factory finishing process, and partly rigid vinyl.
It's an interesting window. It's carefree, and people like the window because the sales have been real good.
We run 2 lines, and we were switching off. Now they have 4 lines, anticipating 5. Production is almost doubled. They'll still make their wood windows, but if I was to build a house, this is what I'd put in.
The younger people see it as the future of the company, when maintenance-free products are the only ones that are sold, and that's coming not only in windows, but in everything.
The PermaShield idea is bearing fruit now. The good old wood window that's still feeding us, paying my salary and paying our profit sharings and everything, is going to be the tail wagging the dog.
created to be in between. A window is to live on the other side of, so when it's cold outside, you can be comfortable and warm inside. A window is a part of the nice things that happen to the people who live behind it. A window is always there to bring in light and show you what is going on outside. A window is to live with. A window is to wash outside and inside if it's welded insulating glass. And if it isn't welded insulating glass, then it has to be washed inside, outside, and outside, inside. A perma-shield window is easy to take care of, so you have more time to play and do fun things with your family.
Give me a hand, will you?
A window is to open and close. And sometimes there are doors instead of windows. Windows come in all kinds of sizes, shapes, and designs, and can be combined in many ways. is very important. A window is to live with. A window is.
I love this. It's so great. So good. So my mom, who was watching on Facebook, said, "Why Windows? Why not Windows?" I pulled this film out. I got this a long time ago and really just loved it, and haven't really had a context to show it and share it. But it's got two things I love. One is assembly line footage, which is really fun to see how they manufacture things. But also just the sense of how, just that process. There's something soothing for me about watching assembly line footage. And I'm sure many of you feel the same way. But also the narrative, the loose narrative of a window talking about his life and weeping at the end. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Or weeping when the family leaves, but excited about the new family that's coming into the house. And so big fan of films like that. I kind of am making this up as I go along. Lots of films to watch and lots of films to show and share. And so there's not a cohesive theme today, but maybe tune in tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, and maybe I'll have something. My brain will percolate something theme-wise. But I do want to do, because it is lunch, and we're sharing lunch together. Please tell me what you're having for lunch. I do want to have one food-related film a day. So we will do that. That will be the consistent thing, is some food-related thing. So this one is, again, a little bit of assembly line-ish, but also really just great. So let me rewind this film. I saw that somebody donated on Patreon. That is a great way to support AV Geeks. Another way is just to watch and share and tell your friends to tune in tomorrow for what we're showing, what we're serving up. My goal in collecting these films is to share them with folks like you everywhere. And so the more that you share it, the happier we are, the more that we give lives to these films. So they just don't sit on shelves. So this next film was made in the 70s. The last film was like 1969. Somebody pointed out, I couldn't quite hear it, but maybe that's the case, that the last film was narrated by Vic Perrin, who narrated for Outer Limits, the beginning of the Outer Limits sequence about we control your brain, your television set, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to get started with this film next. We have somebody visiting AV Geeks right now. Enjoy. Ignore that.
Thing worries me. I wish you'd unplug it.
Oh, there's no plug, dear. It's the latest model with a self-contained power source. Isn't it great?
Terrific. Darn it, Ulysses. Not only do you have us in debt with all this newfangled expensive equipment.
Oh, now, Aggie.
Now this infernal machine's about to blow us up or set us on fire or...
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing serious. Besides, Homer will be here soon. He'll fix it. Then you'll see. He'll turn our business around. Right around.
Hey, Jelly, what you doing?
Taking on my puppy.
What do you mean, your puppy?
Well, he will be as soon as I get my hands on $45.
Lots of luck. But as soon as I get $37.50, I'm going to buy that super set of chrome steel socket wrenches at Cadway's Hardware.
Neat. Bye. Hey, let's follow that fire truck.
No, I can't. I promised to help out on my uncle's luncheonette. I'm late already.
Can I come with you?
Yeah, come on.
Right out of the way, folks. Stand clear. Everybody.
Right in here.
I think it's the donut machine.
Holy smoke! My uncle's luncheonette's on fire.
Oh, boy, that's a bummer.
I want to see what's going on.
No, Homer, no, don't.
Stand clear, folks. Run away.
No, Homer, no, don't go in there.
It's okay, folks. It's just smoke from some grease caused by a spark from our new donut machine.
We'll be open for business in just a few minutes with freshly made coffee.
And delicious fresh donuts, too. Want a bet? Sure, just leave it to Homer.
This thing smells awful.
Isn't that the truth?
We gotta make it work, Homer. I'm counting on this baby to solve my money problems.
You need a gimmick, Uncle Ulysses. Something to get people into the shop.
How about trying live entertainment? There's no business like... Okay, it was just a thought.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right, honey. We'll think of something later. But first, our crack mechanic here, Homer, is going to fix the donut machine. Right, son?
Well, much as I admire Homer's mechanical talent, I think he's met his match with that contraption. I'm going to do my marketing before the rush starts.
Bye, Aggie. Well, Homer?
Relax, Uncle Ulysses. I'll soon have this machine putting out 40 donuts, and you know what to do with it.
Oh, I knew I could count on you, Homer. Listen, Homer, after you fix the machine, would you mind fixing a batch of donuts for the afternoon rush?
Well, I'd love to do that, okay?
Sure thing, Kelly. Look, I'm going to go over to the barber shop. Fix this thing out with Billy the barber. If you need me, you just call me. Lots of luck, Homer.
How you doing, Homer?
Yeah, thanks. That set of socket wrenches, I could do this in no time flat with all this trouble.
Can I do something for you, mister?
Yes, thank you, young lady. I'd like a nice hot cup of coffee and some steel wool, if you know what I mean.
How's the pots and pans business?
Oh, terrible. Just terrible. I just took a crack at it to make enough train fare back to Centerville, where I got a job waiting for me in my regular line of work. Didn't make half enough, though, if you know what I mean.
Hey, what is your regular line of work, Mr.
Gabby's the name. Advertises my game. I'm what they call a sandwich man, you know?
Oh, my uncle used to make sandwiches before he bought this luncheonette.
No, I don't make sandwiches. I wear them on straps hung from my shoulders.
Well, isn't that sort of messy?
No. I wear two boards with ads painted on them. One in the front and one in the back, like a sandwich. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you folks ought to let me do some advertising for you. Tell everybody about your terrific equipment.
Yeah, well, Homer's uncle's a gadget freak.
Yeah, and he's in debt for all these things. He's worried about making enough money to pay for them.
And if you don't get that donut thing going soon, Homer, he'll be even in bigger trouble.
Yeah, I think it'll work now, Kelly.
Before you do anything, young lady, how about that cup of coffee, huh?
Sure. Gosh, it's cold.
Oh, the fireman must have turned off the power. Can you go down the cellar and turn it off?
Sure.
You know where it is?
Hey, this is some fascinating machine. How does it work?
Oh, this tank here is filled with donut batter and drops out the foam draw donuts right here into this oil. It's just heated and then the donuts are cooked. And holy cow! Kelly, cut the power! Don't just stand there, do something. Turn something off. Push things off.
Oh, boy.
Thanks, Mr. Gabby. My uncle must have turned everything up instead of off before he cut the power. Didn't you hear me hollering?
No, I was in the cellar.
Oh, your uncle must really have a lot on his mind, you know what I mean?
He sure does. Well, you better start mixing the batter, Kelly, while I heat up the oil for the donut machine.
Charles. Oh, we just came for a little snack. Some donuts and coffee would be simply marvelous.
Ma'am, we just started to make the batter for the fresh donuts.
They'll be ready in a second.
Oh, you must allow me to make the batter.
I don't know, ma'am. My Uncle Ulysses.
Oh, my donuts are my pièce de résistance.
But how do they taste?
Oh, marvelous. Simply marvelous. Well, adorable. Ooh, an apron. Oh, if my cook could see me now. First, we take a little nutmeg, then a touch of salt. Marvelous, simply marvelous. And if you don't gobble this up, it won't be my fault. I'm a poet. Oh, cinnamon, and a little sugar, too. Ooh, whee. Batter, oh batter, oh batter, 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 oh batter, oh batter, oh batter, batter, I love you. There. Oh.
I hate to say anything, ma'am, but I think you made about 10 times too much.
Oh dear, what's a little extra batter? Remember, quantity is irrelevant when the quality's so elegant.
I sure hope you're right, ma'am. I'm hungry.
Charles, my coat.
matter, dear?
Nothing. I was just worried about leaving those two kids alone in the luncheonette. Are you going to be much longer?
No, but now don't you worry, Aggie. You know that Homer is very capable. I'm sure by now he's got the situation well in hand. Oh!
These are fantastic. I tell you, that lady sure knows her donuts.
Donuts? I almost forgot. Yeah, it's more than enough. That's funny. It's funny, the stop button doesn't work.
We'll try the start button.
Nothing's happening. I can't shut this thing off.
Maybe put some parts in there.
Oh, boy, that's bad. That's very bad.
Homer, if you don't stop this thing soon, we'll be up to our knees in donuts.
You better think of something quick, young fella, if you know what I mean.
All right, hold on, you two. I'm going to make an adjustment or something.
Now it's going faster. Turn it back the other way.
No, turn it off.
Oh, I can't. I tried everything. It won't stop. It's alive.
It's a monster. You know what I mean?
How's it going over there, Homer? What happened? Oh, you're kidding. Oh, you're not kidding. Oh, well, all right, son. I'll be over there right away. Oh, now I am up the creek without a paddle. Holy donuts!
Loaded.
Oh, yeah. Oh, mercy.
My darn machine just won't stop. I tried everything.
Oh, all right. Nobody panic. There's got to be a way to handle this. Organization. Organization. That's what we need. Look, Homer, Kelly, the two of you, look around there in the storage room. There's got to be a stack of sheets of cardboard. Start folding them. Fold them into boxes. Just lots and lots of boxes. Mr.
Gabby's the name.
Mr. Gabby and I will try to hold the donuts here.
Yeah.
All right. Move it out, kids. Move it out. Time's are wasting.
Now, the trick is to catch them as they come off the machine.
Yeah. I see you've had a lot of experience with machines.
No, just disaster.
That's what I have on my hand, Mr. Gabby. A genuine, financial disaster. Try to pick up as many as you can. All these things are hot. Kids, are you folding back there? Are you folding back there?
This is all that's left.
Poor man, I'll bet all he's got on his mind is about when the sheriff is going to come to close him up.
Mr. Gabby, keep working. Hold with that for a minute. Don't run, keep grabbing those boxes. Keep holding them. Oh, the best.
Hey, you licked me? Hey, you licked me. I couldn't help but notice the crowd outside there. What's going on?
Oh, too small. It's a disaster.
What?
Mr. Gabby, man, my position. There's something wrong with the machine. It won't stop spewing out donuts. Something wrong with the switches.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, well, just don't stand there. I appreciate it if you do it.
Oh, sure thing, Ulysses, sure thing.
Gotta get everything under control before Aggie gets back.
Hello, Mrs. Chambers. How nice to see you.
Oh, it's so nice to see you, my dear. Especially as we just came from that adorable little coffee shop of yours.
Oh, really?
Oh, Charles and I had the most marvelous donuts.
Donuts? Then that dumb donut machine is working again?
Oh, of course it is. It's working splendidly. Bye, dear. Come,
Bye.
Charles.
Have a nice day.
This thing is dangerous. This thing will kill you, you know. Watch it. Oh, darn it. I wish Homer had never made this thing work. Oh, it's murderous. Oh, let me make a little room. All right, here we go. Hurry, crew. Watch out. I'm trying to put my arm out. This way, easy. Watch it there. I have to run away.
I'll go back and know it's safe.
You go that way. Come on, crew. Come on, follow me there. This thing is lethal, Gabby. Maybe Aggie was right for me. This one's gonna really do me in. I got one. Keep grabbing. Keep grabbing. All right. Sorry. I'm sunk in a sea of donuts. Hey, wait a minute. Why don't I get a sandwich board and advertise a donut sale for you? You know what I mean? Well, couldn't do any harm. Homer! Oh, there you are. We need your help.
I wish I never let that lady make so much batter.
Oh, Charles, my diamond ring's gone. I must have lost it in that coffee shop. We've got to get back there right away and find it. Open the door. Oh, Charles, open the door. Oh, Charles, what are you doing? There. Now, hurry up. You shouldn't fall down. You should get up.
Here we are, folks. Today and today only, we're running a big special on fresh home-baked donuts. 2 for $15, sir. Step, they're delicious, sir. Does anybody... Why don't you go in and try them, sir? Go right in. They're 2 for $15, sir. Step, they're delicious, sir. Does anybody... Why don't you go in and try them? 2 for $15.
Good heavens, where did all the donuts come from?
But she won't stop.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid it's my fault. We came back because my diamond ring is missing, and I think I lost it.
Don't anybody move. There's a diamond ring missing. Who did that?
Your ring was on the counter when you mixed up the batter.
But it's got to be inside of one of the donuts.
Oh, brother, that does it. It'll take hours to go through all this.
Now, wait, Uncle Ulysses. Why don't we offer a $10 reward to the customer who finds the ring inside one of the donuts?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I'd gladly offer $100 reward.
100 bucks?
Fantastic!
Oh, Homer, thank you. You've done it again. I'll tell you what, I'll go tell Gabby to make up another sandwich board, and wait till you see what he puts on it. Step right in. Donuts 4 for $15 today and today only. Go right in, folks. And as an added bonus, there's a $100 prize if you find a diamond ring in a donut. But remember, you've got to give the diamond ring back. Right up, folks. Right up, that's the idea. Excuse me. Oh, is this marvelous? Homer, you are a genius.
Yes, it runs in the family, Uncle Ulysses.
I guess so. Oh, thank you.
There you go. Funny donuts.
Right here. Oh, Aggie!
Aggie. Aggie, the darn machine just won't stop.
It went crazy! But Aggie, I can explain. Well, all right, coming up there. All right, 1 minute, Adam. Oh, Aggie, you are something else.
Why didn't I think of that?
Aggie, you know, you always said that we ought to believe. Well, look at that. Oh, well, yeah, our troubles are over, Aggie, and all thanks to Homer and his wacky donut machine.
Maybe we should do this once a week, huh?
$1, thank you.
If you don't find it, buy some more. Be sure you pay for them. No, thank you, and never eat when I'm thirsty. Please, folks, stop.
I've bitten into my own ring. This isn't my ring. It's my denture.
All right, folks, please. Spare a path now. Let the sheriff through. That's it. Keep going. That's it. All right, now.
I've got it! The diamond ring! I've won the $100!
Oh, my gosh, Kelly! Kelly found it! Oh, Kelly, that is absolutely terrific!
Charles. Oh, thank you so much, my dear.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry about all that data, Homer. Thank you all for your cooperation. Charles, to the nearest dentist.
You know, I'm glad it was you that found it. Can I just touch it? It's my favorite color.
Homer, my boy, I'm very proud of you. And I am very grateful for you having made things turn out so terrific for me.
And for me, now I can buy my puppy.
That's great, Kelly.
And for you, Homer, now you can buy that super set of whatchamacallits you wanted.
Thanks.
Well, as the fella says, all's well that ends well, if you know what I mean. So I guess I'll be moving along.
No, wait, Mr. Gabby. How much do you need for your train ticket to Centerville?
Oh, I don't know, $25. But don't you worry about it.
Well, I have enough left for my prize money.
Now hold it. Just hold on there for one darn minute. Mr. Gabby, you did an advertising job for me.
And lots more.
That's right. And I figure that that's a bargain at $25.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all of you. And I just want to say that I've never enjoyed anything more.
Okay, troops, we've got to tidy up for the afternoon snack lovers. Homer, see if you can top yourself with another $1 million idea, will you? While you pick up the trash, and Kelly, you help him. Oh, Aggie dear, would you clean off the counter and the tables, and I will take up room to the floor.
Okay, anybody for some music to work to? No, Gillis, don't!
Here we go again.
All right. Yes, donuts. Go nuts for donuts. So lots and lots of character actors in there. This was part of a series, ABC well known for their After School Special series, which dealt with events of importance like alcoholism and drug abuse and your kid turning into a punk rocker and stuff like that, parents getting divorced. This series was their weekend special series that would kind of come on, if I remember correctly, like around 11 or 12 in the Saturday mornings, and it would a lot of times these would be based on classic short stories. So this was Homer Price and the Wacky Donut Machine. But I have other ones. There's based on Ransom of Red Chief is another one I have in the series, and there's several others that are I've got in my collection of 16. Lots and lots of character actors in there. A lot of people noticed David Doyle, Natalie Schaefer, but nobody talked about Dodo Denny, the mom from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. She's in there. I posted a link to the IMDb listing for it, but lots of stuff there. And so thanks everybody for joining me for lunch. I'll be back tomorrow. Again, this is something that we're doing because lots of people are now stranded at home. Well, not stranded, but they're at home. And I want to give them a break and give myself a break from looking at news and fretting. So we're going to show a bunch of films this week at lunchtime, 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Tell your friends, come on by and watch and have lunch with me. I guarantee each day we'll have one food-related film, but then, who knows? I might have some stuff that's themed. I might have some stuff that just I've always wanted to watch. I have no idea, because certainly I've only seen maybe 6,000 or 7,000 of the films that I have, and we have 27,000. So thanks again for showing up, and I appreciate your comments. And you guys stay safe. Don't go loony. Don't go crazy. Keep calm. And we will talk again soon. Take care.